Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back, FPL Fantasy. We're here talking about a game week very similar to my hopes and dreams. It's a blank game week, everybody. Game week 32 also for anybody who cares that matters, blah blah blah, whatever. But we have a potential champion in our midst. My man Doc. Doc, how you doing, champ?
Well, I can smell the championship already, and it's making me extremely nervous because I know how much amount of luck that I need in order to get this championship. Last 128 in the overall cup, free hit available. Opponent doesn't have a free hit, but they do have two free transfers. Let's see how this week goes. I need to nail this free hit. And if you want to see my draft, it will be in the team reveal section at the end of the video.
Yeah, yeah. And hey, I think I was right. I told you. Don't worry about the cup too much. Just play the game. It got you this far. Everything's going to be all right. You're like, nah, I might do the cup. I might not. They're different strategies. No, they were different strategies. This year for the cup, whatever, it's different. Just play the game. You're gonna be fine. You're killing it, man. So I'm glad to see that you're moving up the ranks there in the cup. Yeah, you ready to get into it?
Yeah, let's do this.
Okay. So captaincy or transfers, Doc? Which one are you feeling?
Let's start with captaincy.
Okay, cool. Who's looking like captainable players this week?
Well, it seems like Salah is going to be the overwhelmingly captain this game week. Twitter polls all across big accounts show that Salah is like 75% going to be probably captain by most people. But also, I think Jesus can be a great shout. Yes, he might play those 60, 70, maybe 80 minutes, but the upside is there. They're playing one of the worst defenses, if not the worst defense in the league currently. So there is an opportunity there to go differential. But you know me, I'd like to play it safe with the captaincy. Every once in a while, I take a punt. It fails miserably. I go playing it safe. I go back to playing it safe. So I would say Salah's probably is the obvious shout. Back in form, playing more of what with the new formation, more inside with Trent Alexander-Arnold playing finally in the CM position that I've been saying that he should be playing for years now. So yeah, it's probably Salah. If you want to go really differential, it's probably one of the Arsenal boys. What about you, Joe? What do you think?
I disagree a little bit. I agree completely. Here's my thoughts. Jesus, good player. He's doing well. Came back from injury. Changing the team again. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say because Arsenal have tied 2-0, being up like twice now in a row. So I don't know. That's weird. That's a different conversation. But honestly, my Arsenal player is Martinelli. I think he's been pretty incredible. He's kind of mostly been carrying the team, and I think he's just crushing it. I think he's a great captaincy shout on Arsenal. I think he's really the only one that I'm sitting there looking at, being like, yeah, I choose that guy. He can have the armband. So I think that's where my thoughts are with Arsenal. And now I'm gonna do it one more time to you. Your Salah talk. Nah, man. Nah. This is it's just not it. It's just not it. Like honestly, I think Jota is probably the better player right now. We've seen him come back from injury, kind of similar to Jesus, get some starting time. He looks like he's crushing it, but I feel like he's just outperforming Salah really. And it's nice that Salah, you mentioned, kind of getting inside, and that's great. But I don't know. I feel like Jota's the better attacker. And then if you want to go a little bit crazy, I think Trent Alexander Arnold is your other guy that you can look at and you can say, hey, this is Liverpool's like number two captaincy option. Really, he's playing that spot that he grew up in. I think he's like naturally trained a midfielder. And everybody complained about, oh, how Trent is, washed. He's trash. He can't play defense anymore. No, he was never trained to play defense. He was an attacking defender, and why was he so attacking? Because he was a midfielder his whole life, and Klopp was like, "Hey, get in there, pretend like you can stop the ball." Like that. That's what you want. And yes, you said he's kind of like the defensive midfielder, but like in Klopp's system, everybody is an attacker. Everybody's in offense. Allison is down there, so I don't know. That's my thoughts on captaincy. And before anybody goes, "Oh my God, Joe hates Salah," blah blah blah. Like, no, no, no. I still think Salah's great. I think he's had a dip in form compared to last year. I think really the biggest issue for me is every time Salah is doing good, it's really Liverpool is doing good and Salah is also doing good. And I think there's always players in there that really are a little bit better shouts than Salah. And I think we kind of get hit with the nostalgia of, oh my gosh, it's Salah, Liverpool are scoring. Clearly, you have to captain him. Those are my thoughts. Sorry, rambled. Doc, tell me I'm wrong. Let's go on to transfers after that.
Well, let's go on to transfers after that, anyways, because it's a nice segue towards that. Because you mentioned about Salah and you mentioned about the captaincy with Liverpool boys. I think the transfers that if someone is not going to free hit, we're going to talk about the kind of optimal free hit to have during my team reveal because I'm free hitting and I'm going to talk about the potential places that I can go with. But my recommendation, if you are not free hitting, I would probably recommend getting Liverpool players because they don't blank this game week and then they double in game week 34. So again, I would target Salah to bring in as much as possible. Probably also Trent Alexander-Arnold. Those will be my probable transfers if I didn't have the free hit. Honestly, I didn't think about it because I earmarked free hitting this game week since like game week 26, 27. So I didn't really think about it much, but I would probably get a Liverpool player, probably Salah or Trent.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's fine. I think Salah is the third guy to make it into my team sheet. Honestly, if you're not on a free hit, I don't know. I don't know. It's a throw up really between like for me, well, kind of Jota, Salah, Gekpo. I think they're all playing great in the attack. Yeah, Salah seems like he's returning consistently. Jota seems like he's back to that form. Right before they got Luis Diaz, and he was like crushing it last year, and then even when we got, not we, I don't care about Liverpool. Sorry guys, you're not that important to me. But even when they got Luis Diaz, Jota was still crushing it. Gekpo's getting much more comfortable. I think the system's really working for him. The system's working for Salah, but he's a star. He's a stud. He's the guy that's supposed to carry the team. Anything is supposed to work for him. Everybody else is supposed to just do what makes Salah look better. Really? Yeah. Yeah. No, I think if you're not on a free hit, you can probably bring in Liverpool players.
Because also, if you look at the fixture ticker, and Liverpool are the top of that fixture ticker because they have Nottingham Forest this game week, and then they have Tottenham and Fulham in game week 34, and they have West Ham sandwiched in the middle. Like if you look at other options, because you have, for example, Fulham, who have again a fixture this game week and a double in game week 34, but their double is versus Man City and Liverpool. West Ham, they have a fixture this game week and they have a double in 34, but one of them is versus Manchester City. So there's not really great options that you can transfer in beside Liverpool because they have the fixtures. And the ownership will scare you. It was like going with us, Salah's borderline crazy this game week. So I'm looking forward to your team reveal, Joe.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. We'll get into it eventually. Yeah, I think the Tottenham game is going to be nearly impossible for Liverpool. I mean, in the last 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 games that they've played. So back to 2017, Liverpool has won once. and they've drawn 3 times, and none of them have really been goal fest for the most part, except for the one that Tottenham lost. I think there's potential there, but yeah, they have a good run of fixtures, not a great run of fixtures. They look beautiful this game week. If you're on a free hit, definitely get them in. If you're not on a free hit, you can get them in for this game week. If you bring in Salah, everybody knows you're playing them nonstop. If you bring in anybody else, they're benchable. You ready to get in
Yeah.
and hang out with your team, Doc?
Yeah, let's get into it. The free hit team.
All right. Good old free hit team. Talk about it.
Yeah. So this is the team that you have in front of you at the moment. I'm currently fairly settled on this team. The front three, Solanke, Watkins, and Jesus. I don't see me changing them much. Solanke is registering ridiculous numbers in the past few game weeks. Bournemouth have been playing very well in the past game weeks. Watkins, he cannot stop scoring even if he tried, although before he was trying to score goals and he couldn't. Now it's the opposite. So it seems like rational to go for it, especially with Brentford conceding a lot of chances. Jesus, the reason I went for Jesus over an Arsenal defender, because Saka and Martinelli kind of were there. That's it. I'm going to put them in and build around those players. Jesus is just because for this attacking return, attacking potential, they're playing probably one of the worst defenses in the league the whole season. Team seems like crumbling. They seem like they're going to get relegated. Although I kept saying throughout my whole life that I love the Southampton team. I love the academy. For me, they are one of the best academies in the Premier League and in England to produce young players. I feel bad to see them probably relegated, but the team is terrible this game week, this season, and I hope that Jesus can capitalize on that and having him in my team. Now, the other decision that I had in my mind is when I put Trent Alexander-Arnold and Salah that they were set in my team, I needed to decide on a third player. The first thing I did was put Virgil van Dijk because I couldn't decide who to go for as a third Liverpool player. And you would want 3 Liverpool players. But as time passed, and I was thinking, if you offered me Van Dijk 6 points over Gakpo's potential ceiling, I would probably go for Gakpo, especially that Nottingham Forest statistically concede most of their chances through the middle. So you have an out of position player positively from Liverpool playing one of the worst defenses in the league. Even if he plays 60, 70 minutes, I'll probably take it. Alex Moreno is ahead of Shar here because I just simply couldn't find another defender. I talk a lot about my thought process on Twitter, and I was thinking that probably I want to go for Shar, but Alex Moreno has slightly more attacking potential. I think both teams will concede, but there is more likelihood that Newcastle shut Tottenham away from the goal and keep a clean sheet. So I might start Shar ahead of Alex Moreno, but currently I have Alex Moreno ahead because in the last 6 games, Alex Moreno have been registering decent numbers for attacking returns. Johnson is kind of the automatic goalkeeper. It's between him and Martinez. Martinez is on the bench currently because Johnson probably has a better chance of keeping a clean sheet over Martinez. Madison is worrying me. There is no Madison. I have Andreas instead of Madison. I can afford virtually any player on the game, but I like Andreas. Andreas is top for attacking stats in many like shots on target, shots taken for the past 6 game weeks. So I like Andreas there to be as a backup if someone misses out and Sharp basically first on the bench. There are so many avenues to take. Like I said, 2 nights ago, it was Madison instead of Gakpo and Virgil van Dijk instead of Alex Moreno because I would like to have this guaranteed, let's say, 6 points. But now thinking it's better to chase kind of the upside. And also because I want to target 3 Liverpool because my cup opponent actually doesn't have 3 Liverpool, has 0 Liverpool, but they have 2 free transfers. So if they want to kind of cover my players or Liverpool players, they need to take a hit. So I think this is my opportunity to progress in the cup.
I don't mind the team so much. You kind of mentioned, no Madison. Madison has a history against Wolves. He likes to kill them, cook them, and eat them. So I think that's kind of, I don't know, weird position to be in. You have 3 Arsenal, which puts you in a little bit of a weird situation. But if I was on a free hit, I'd honestly look at Ben White. Against these lesser defensive teams, he's been eating them. just absolutely destroying them. And yeah, Salah number 3, that's probably fine. I don't really have much against it. Like, I think it's fine. That's one of the weird things with this free hit is I feel like every free hit is going to be somewhat similar, fairly similar. You have a lot of players like that are just guaranteed into a free hit team. Very similar, like Trent. Your Salah. I think Martinelli is. I think Saka is a fan favorite, even though he's been having a rough time the last couple game weeks. So maybe he doesn't deserve it necessarily. Watkins will be in there. Moreno, like he's probably going to be in a lot of the drafts. Trippier, I think Trippier is kind of a weird one. I feel like the Newcastle game will probably be like a 1-1, a 2-1, something like that. I don't know. Like you said, you were kind of struggling to find like good defenders really to put in there. And yeah, I said Ben White, but if you use your 3 Arsenal spots on attack, it still doesn't give you a defender to help you out there. So I don't know. Those are my thoughts. I think what you got is a quality team. Once again, play for the rank, win the cup.
Absolutely, they go hand in hand this game week because I need to find the best team I can afford this game week. So it doesn't matter if I'm playing for rank or cup. That's why I like it, and that's why I said when I knew in game week 31, I believe that I was still in the cup, that I didn't know that I was still in. I said I'll play it until 34, and if I'm still doing well, I'll keep playing for the cup after game week 34 because this is the best team I can have at the moment. So yeah, like when it comes to defender, it's really tough. So if I don't go for a Liverpool player or an Arsenal player, it's my options are like basically Alex Moreno, Gui, Castan, and Botman slash Shar, and probably Shar is better for attacking returns. And for me, they all seem like a 2-pointer, no matter what I do. So it's going to be really tough to find that one player who's going to bang. Like Castan is a very good option. You would hope he plays wing back or even right forward at some point. He played last game week or 2 game weeks ago when he was substituted when Ricardo came in and he played like right wing literally. So you would hope that happens versus Wolves at home. It might be a great shout, but again, one Leicester cannot keep a clean sheet to save their lives, so you would hope for attacking returns. Probably Shar will come in. Like now, I'm talking and articulating my thoughts. Probably Shar will come in because there is a slight chance that Newcastle, a very good chance, like much better than the other options, to keep a clean sheet and just hope Shar gets an attacking return for a 12-pointer. Otherwise, I don't see my team changing much. Like Solanke can go out, Andreas can come in, Solanke can go out, and Madison comes in and go to 3-5-2. Jesus might go out, Ben White comes in, or Gabriel, and then probably go for a third striker or Andreas come in. So remember, I keep saying on this channel that I like to build a spine that will probably not change and then build around it. So the spine, as you mentioned, there are players that pick themselves. Johnston, Trent, Trippier, Martinelli, Saka, Salah, Watkins are there definitely, and then you play around. So it's just one of those things. So teams will have similar spine, but I see a lot of differentiation on Twitter at least. So there is a chance to gain ground, and I think almost 30% of top 10K have already used their free hit. So you already have an advantage. So you do not need to worry about being too different. You just need to try to find the team that gets you the most points.
Yeah, yeah. And maybe the only thought on what you have here would be putting in Gahey over Trippier because I don't think there's a clean sheet there. And with Hodgson back, I feel like it's more likely to come from Palace.
Fair enough, but Trippier, I don't think I will ever remove him because he has this crazy potential for attacking returns,
Yeah.
and there is a good chance they get a clean sheet as well versus Tottenham. Not a great chance, but a good chance. So that's why I'm playing double Newcastle defense probably. This is what I'm trying to avoid. So yeah,
Yep.
it's a tough one, but because I'm under the pressure of the cup, I'm kind of sweating it. Any other season, I'll be thinking like it's one player. If I get 6 points, if I get 2 points, it's not going to make much of a difference. Look at the bigger picture and just go for a gamble. But because I'm under the pressure, I'm like, okay, I need to think this through. Who's going to get the most points?
Okay, Doc. So I got my team on the screen. Yeah, you're gonna hate what I'm doing, and I respect that. But I don't know. I don't know. I could play my free hit. I'll hang on to it probably. See what happens. Future game weeks. Yeah. Here's the team. I made two transfers. Took out a defender. Brought in Moreno. Brought in Watkins for Howland. I know everybody's freaking out. Listen, I got Howland back 1 week ago. I'm losing .1 million. Like I don't care really. Like I'll get him back next week. I still had like I don't know a ridiculous amount of money, like .5 or something in my bank. Doesn't bother me. Um, yeah. Teams out here hanging out. Got two Tottenham players. What about it? It'll be fine. Trippier's in there too.
Well, like you said, I'm going to hate what you're doing. And I know what I'm going to say will probably backfire because you're going to do the exact opposite. But I would absolutely free hit because you have it available. There is no point taking a hit to take out Haaland just to bring him on next game week if you are bringing him on. If you're not bringing him in, not an issue. You're going without Haaland, which is almost insane. So, especially at the latter stages of the season, he has a double coming up as well in 34 and I believe 37. And also, you have 10 players because I think I read news that Zinchenko is not back. So you're taking ahead to field only 10 players while you have a free hit available, while everybody else is free hitting, and your team doesn't have even one Liverpool. Okay, you don't want Salah because I know your thoughts about Salah, but you would want Trent Alexander Arnold this game week, for example. So I would absolutely free hit and just pull a Joe and not go with the template that you see on Twitter. I know you because you don't want to do that. So I would absolutely free hit. It just doesn't make sense to take a hit to field 10. It just doesn't make sense.
All right, everybody. So yeah, it's a season. It's a digital game. Doc, there we go. There's our thoughts. Thrown on the YouTube. Everybody, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, do the things. Doc, what would you like to say?
I'd like to say that this video kind of played in my head. Now I'm thinking I should start Andreas ahead of Gakpo and bring back Virgil van Dijk. This kind of solves my problems, but then it becomes Andreas versus Madison. Sorry to get you back to the free hit draft, but if you enjoyed this episode, like Joe said, drop a thumbs up, subscribe if you still haven't. Follow us on Twitter. I have a new Twitter account, as you see down below, because I lost access to my previous account long time ago, and I finally got around to making a new one. I will update you with my free hit draft there, and of course, I post my team around the deadline time. And until the next episode, thank you for watching.
Yeah, awesome. Let's go get these points and win the cup, Doc. That seems okay.
I'll try.
Peace.